wanted to talk to you today about how to create your own happiness when you are in the middle of trials. I've been thinking about you during this crazy, crazy, crazy time of the world, and I just wanted to say that I am here for you. Today, I want to share with you my 5 tricks that I found to create happiness when I was facing the death of my son, 2 failed businesses, $100,000 of debt, the divorce from my husband, being raped, having my car stolen, remarrying a pathological lying narcissist for 9.5 months, only to find myself in jail in London on our 1-year anniversary. I know it's a lot. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification button because I will be diving into the juicy details of all of those life experiences, sharing with you everything that I learned from this decade of my life. I am not a licensed therapist. I'm just a girl who lived through hell, and I am here on the other side, and I want to help you get out of the hell that you might be living in and give you some really active strategies to create happiness even in the midst of misery. My first trick was when I learned how to stay present. I found myself living either in the future or in the past, especially when my son passed away. I remember thinking if I could just fast forward time until I could die and be with him again, then I would be happy. Or if I could just rewind time to when he was alive and in my arms, then I could be happy. Unfortunately, when we experience something like death, we can't do either one of those. And so we're caught in a place where we are living a life, but we are not alive at all because we are not present in what is going on around us because we want to go back or we want to go forward. We don't want to be right here because being right here means that we have to feel that pain. Every day you write down what you are grateful for that you can see, that you can hear, that you can touch, that you can taste, and that you can smell. By doing this, it brings you into your current environment and it helps you escape living in the past or in the future. My second tip is probably my favorite tip, and it's something that I do still every single day. It is the art of funny faces. You're probably going to notice that I make funny faces a lot in my videos, and it was actually because it was a coping mechanism to pull myself out of my depression. So I actually discovered this sitting on the toilet, where the toilet was here and there was a mirror across from my toilet. And I would sit on my toilet and I would sit there, and instead of frowning and crying, I got so sick of seeing myself frowning and crying that I decided that I wanted to see myself silly. And so I would start making my faces and I go, I didn't realize at the time the benefit of this until much later. But the truth is that cortisol is our enemy. Cortisol creates depression. Whereas when we make funny faces and we laugh, that actually is a stimulator to serotonin and to endorphins. Both serotonin and endorphins, they offset cortisol. As our serotonin and endorphins rise, our cortisol drops. So if you can do something to rise those positive, yummy, healthy chemicals in your body, then that will offset the cortisol. Number 3 is exercise, exercise, exercise. We severely underestimate how important exercise is for our brain. Oftentimes, exercise is more for our brain than it is for our body. And I understand that when you're at the bottom of the barrel, the last thing you want to do is to exercise, and it takes a huge amount of willpower. So start small and do something. Put on your shoes and go for a 5-minute walk. Go get the mail. Get outside. It doesn't have to be big. Start small and grow. So I know that when I was at the bottom of the barrel and I was ultra depressed, it took everything for me to think about even doing remotely anything active, because I literally spent 20 hours of my life in bed every single day for 5 years straight. But I started small, and I would take a 5-minute bike ride, and then it was a 10-minute bike ride, and it was just a small increase in these endorphins. The reason that exercise is so powerful is because remember that pesky little chemical called cortisol that I was telling you about? Exercise burns cortisol and it raises endorphins and serotonin. So while you exercise, you're smashing that cortisol and you are elevating the good, yummy chemicals in our body. Okay, guys, the fourth tip is learn. Learn, 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 learn. When we adopt a attitude of education and ask ourselves, what are we learning from this? We elevate because of the wisdom that we glean from those life experiences. Education is always a plus. It is always a positive. It's always a benefit, and it always leaves us better than we were before the experience happened. So ask yourself, what is it that I'm supposed to be learning right now? What course of life am I enrolled in right now? Am I learning more about forgiveness, patience, long-suffering, kindness, forgiveness, surrendering, compassion? There's so many things that we can learn from our life experiences. And as soon as we learn from those life experiences, they become purposeful in our life, and it assigns purpose to the pain. And where there's purpose in the pain, we can put up with so much more than we could when we are just victims and it's just happening to us and we're not gaining anything from it. Self-affirmations are a big deal. This is tip number 5. What we think and what we say is what our mind believes. What we think and what we say is what our mind believes. So if we're always saying, I am miserable, I am depressed, I am grieving, I am fat, I am anything, that's what we're going to believe. If we can change the verbiage that comes out of our mouth, we can actually train how our brain thinks and what our brain believes. And I know that it feels wildly unnatural to say, I am happy, when really you're totally, completely miserable and falling apart on the inside and you feel like you're lying to yourself. So I'm going to encourage you, rather than saying I am happy when you're totally miserable, saying I choose to be happy. Because you also know when you're lying to yourself. So you want to make sure that you're not lying to yourself and saying, I am happy when you're totally miserable. But if you say, I am choosing to be happy, then that starts ticking in your brain that you are choosing a new outcome in your life. I choose to be fit. I choose to exercise. I choose to be joyful. I choose to heal. I choose joy. I choose healthy. I choose love. I choose forgiveness. Then we start rewiring our brain through the words that we speak. I want to know what you are facing currently in your life. What are the big blocks? What are the big barriers? I would love to see if there's some kind of wisdom or love or virtual hug that I could give to you, especially during this time of social distancing. Head over to my website. I have put together something really special at freedomfix.com. It is my framework to unlocking your internal freedom within. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video. Go ahead, feel free, share it with anybody that you might feel would benefit from this. Join us up on our Facebook group. Join us on Instagram. Join me on my website. I want to give you all the love that this girl has, and there's so much in here because I know what it feels like to be at the bottom. I know what it feels like to be searching for your happiness, and I am here to tell you right now that it is there for you, and we will get you there. So hang in, hang tight, keep working, keep holding on. There is a saying that I love: when you get to the end of your rope, tie a big knot and hang on. Keep on hanging on, guys. And just so you know, next video, I am going to be talking to you about our new puppy. And I'm going to need help from you what to name our new puppy. Okay, have a great day. Take care. Bye.